Yo, and hello and welcome to the 119th episode of GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go up for free every Wednesday in audio format on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast directories, and in video format on YouTube, so you can see us in stunning HD. This show is two childhood BFFs bringing you all things video games. You can find us online at createforsanity.com, where you can listen to episodes, subscribe for behind-the-scenes news, read rad articles, and buy sick t-shirts from our shop. Also, be sure to join the community in the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/GameSpeak Podcast to hang and talk games with other nerds like us. I'm one of your hosts, JAMAL Al-Jafra, alongside Brent Vapor Bass. Oi! Holy shit.
Everybody dies right now. Yeah, I apologize if I just murdered everybody on the other end of this.
It's all right. We didn't have many listeners to begin with. killed the ones we do have
left. I'm sorry, guys. At least killed your eardrums, so you can't even listen anymore.
Yeah, that was pretty loud.
Oh, you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes I got to wake these fools up,
Yes, wake them.
What's been up,
anyways,
man?
Yeah, so just been playing a lot of Striker X. No, I'm just kidding. No, no, what you been up to, man? I guess I've been I'm trying to think if I did
just Striker X.
Just Striker Xing, dude, just doing my thing in there.
No, I feel you.
No, nothing too interesting has really happened to me this week. I feel like I live a pretty mundane life outside of GameSpeak,
Same.
Like, we did record our Octodad episode, and that's up on the internet now.
Yeah, for those of you curious critters out there that want to see us be two parts of an octopus.
Couch Bro Op. It's every Saturday on youtube.com/AljafraJamel, which, by the way, this upcoming weekend, we'll have us collecting some jewels in the Spyro Reignited trilogy.
That's right. We're going to be Ripto's raging it for you guys. So
yeah, dude, pretty dope. So what have you been up to?
So, let's see. The only thing I really did this week, I went to the movies. I went and saw that new Child's Play remake.
I heard it was whack, dude.
It was pretty whack. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. I don't know. It was weird because they tried to get all modern with it,
Technology.
There were things I liked a lot about it and things I didn't like about it. You know what I mean? Like, I liked Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky.
Okay.
I liked that they kind of did away with the whole, voodoo thing from the original Chucky movies where, like, he's, like, possessed by some serial killer that, like, transferred his spirit into the doll or whatever.
I don't know. I feel like we need that kind of shit
I don't
nowadays.
know. I like that. I like that it was more, because this one is more centered on, like, a malfunctioning, like, AI kind of thing.
So, small soldiers?
More or less, yeah. But I don't know, it was good. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad, though. You know what I mean? It was one of those movies that was like, in my opinion, it was just as good as the original, but the original wasn't really that good either.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like...
rose-tinted glasses.
It was really campy. It was really cheesy, but it did have some things going for it. It was fun to watch, and I would probably watch it again if somebody was like, hey, if they put out a sequel, I'll probably go watch the sequel.
How was Aubrey Plaza as a mother?
Terrible. I mean, she was just, all I see is Parks and Rec when I see her, I just can't think of anything else when I see her in any other role. It doesn't matter. And they kind of had her acting like that, so...
Really? They're like, just be Aubrey Plaza, but as a mom.
Honestly, I think the acting was one of the worst parts of the movie in general, I think the kid was a little too old for the part they were... Even though they kind of wrote it into his script a little bit, like, he was like, oh, I'm too old for the doll, and blah, 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 but it's still like, okay, even though you say you're too old for the doll... Like, there's other kids your age playing with the doll, and it just doesn't make sense. It's like...
They didn't really put the time in. They didn't put the effort in.
It just could have been better. Like, I liked a lot of the artistic choices they made. I just wish it would have been a little better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
That being said, there's a movie I'm looking forward to, man. July 2nd. Midsummer coming out.
Dude, that's by the guy who made Hereditary.
Yes.
A lot of people who have seen it have said that it's like Hereditary, but in daylight. Like, they're like, it's like, just take it, like, the whole vibe of Hereditary and just put it in the sun. And, like, I'm so down for that, dude.
Me too.
Hereditary is probably my favorite movie of all time besides The Matrix.
It's such a good movie. It's definitely one of the best horror movies I've ever seen.
It's one of those movies that has no filler. Every shot has a purpose.
From start to finish.
Yes.
Dude. Even like the little subtle things. I don't know. And it's like, it's one of those movies you go back and watch it, and it's like the second time you watch it, it's like even
a
better.
whole different experience.
Yeah, it's like you start noticing things. And I'm just really excited to see another great movie like that. I love this director. And just watching the trailer from Midsommar, it's like, fuck.
It's intense.
I can already tell I'm going to be into it. You know what I mean?
Notice one thing, though. Like in Midsommar, like in the trailer, the bars on the top and the bottom are white instead of black. You know, like in most movies, how it's like the black bars. It's white in Midsommar.
Weird.
Yeah, so like I feel like it's just like a weird artistic choice that you don't think about, but like it's like this guy cares about what he's doing with this movie.
Yeah. You know, what's really interesting about this, in the trailer, obviously, I think it's not telling us a lot, and that's on purpose. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But I watched this episode. Okay, I've been watching this TV show. This is totally off subject, but it'll come back around, I promise. Have you ever seen the Hyper Hard-Boiled Gourmet Report on Netflix?
No.
Oh my god, dude, you gotta watch this. It's this Japanese TV show where they go to like the fucking like most hardcore places on earth and just ask people what they eat. You know what I mean? Like one episode they went to Liberia and found all these like ex-child soldiers who were like living in a graveyard smoking crack. And like, and they like went
Sounds
in,
like a Vice documentary.
Dude, it is pretty much, but they're all Japanese, so it's funny for some reason. I don't know, but they were like going in there and like the dudes are like robbing them and shit, and like they followed this prostitute around and like watch and like she like fucked this guy and like got just enough money to get some rice. It's like really fucked up and horrible, but like it's also super interesting and kind of funny. You should check it out.
I don't see where the humor part comes in.
Well, the humor part comes in the funny in the guy who's like hosting the show. Like he doesn't like you can tell on the very first episode they just brought him in and didn't tell him shit about what's going on, and then they just started showing him all these like horrible fucking clips, and he's just kind of like, okay.
So he like barely speaks English.
Yeah,
or what?
He doesn't speak English. The show is like a Japanese show.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so everyone's Japanese. That's like
it's
a part
probably,
of the production.
Yeah, I was about to say it's probably less funny if you're actually in Japan. You know what I mean? But
you're just laughing because you don't understand.
I think and the culture shock. You know, like there's episodes where they go to like America and they like hang out with like the Crips or something in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? And
but
like,
it's a Japanese dude.
Yeah, it's like a Japanese people going all over the place in the world.
Oh
and
my
then,
gosh!
like,
what is this show called again?
It's called Hyper Hard-Boiled Gourmet Report.
So you have to watch it on
Netflix
with captions, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's preferred with captions.
Okay,
for sure.
I'm gonna watch this. How did you find this?
I just stumbled upon it, dude. This is like the other day. Me and Audra couldn't find something to watch, and she was like, "Just pick something." I was like, "I'm just gonna close my eyes and pick something, and whatever I pick, we're gonna end up watching." And she's like, "All right, fine." I was like, "All right, fine." So I closed my eyes and I picked something, and it landed on that, and it ended up being like my new favorite show. But anyways, my point was, I was watching Hyper Hard-Boiled Gourmet Report last night.
Okay.
And they went to this mountain called the City of the Sun. And this cult lives there.
Yeah, the guy who looks like Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like 1,000 people that live there. Anyways, they eat pretty good up there. They're all vegetarians, but they eat pretty good. But I don't know, something about that City of the Sun place reminds me a lot of that movie.
It's absolutely based on stuff
really?
like that. Yeah. You can tell it's like a whole like another like cult thing.
I think he's going to be more original than that, though. I think it's going to take a big turn. I'm so excited to see what he does.
Me too. Dude, we need to go see that and then do a GameSpeak review or like a spoiler cast episode.
I'm so down for that.
Dude, for sure. And that's this next week. So Friday or next Friday?
I'm not sure. The second. So
I think that's Friday, dude.
Tomorrow's the 26th. Yeah. So.
Oh no, it won't be Friday.
It'll be coming around though pretty soon.
It'll be here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's jump into the video game news, guys. Just so you know, we're using articles from gaming news sites from around the web, and we don't claim any of the news as our own. We're just simply giving commentary on these articles. We're going to kick it off with this right here, which is funny because it's GameSpot took this news from a different website. So the Pokemon series may have begun with only 151 monsters, but there are now more than 800 species of Pokemon to date, and that number will only continue to grow with the impending release of Pokemon Sword and Shield for Switch later this year. The sheer variety of monsters in the series has birthed the adage, every Pokemon is someone's favorite, and that is what one Reddit user set out to test. Reddit user MammaMia1001 recently created a survey asking people to vote for their favorite Pokemon, with the intent of discovering whether the saying was actually true. More than 52,000 people participated in the survey, and out of all those responses, 4 Pokemon received 0 votes. Silcoon, Gothita, Electric, and Yungoos. I only knew one of those.
That sucks to be one of the 4 lamest Pokemon that don't even get a single vote out of
52,000 people.
Jeez, dude.
Considering the sample size, that only 4 monsters didn't receive any votes certainly seems to lend some weight to the saying. The survey also gave us a look at who the most popular Pokemon are, at least among those who responded to the survey. Perhaps unsurprisingly, Gen 1 Pokemon dominated the top 10. Topping the list was Charizard, which received 1,107 votes. Following behind it was Gengar with 1,056 votes, while Arcanine rounded out the top 3 with 923 votes.
Do you have the full top 10?
Yeah, then Bulbasaur at 710 votes, Blaziken at 613 votes.
Fuck yeah, Blaziken's dope.
Umbreon at 607 votes, Lucario at 604 votes, Gardevoir at 585 votes, Eevee at 581 votes, and Dragonite at 551 votes. My favorite's Gengar.
I was just about to ask. I think mine is kind of a toss-up between Steelix and Chatot.
Okay. Chatot?
Yeah, the parrot.
I've never even... I can't even put a face to that Pokemon.
He's like a little parrot. He fucks shit up in battles, dude. I used to have a shiny Chatot, and it was like... so good, dude.
Really?
He'd put you to sleep and then just fuck you up, dude.
Just puts you to sleep and fuck you? He's
He
like the
just puts
Bill
you to
Cosby
sleep.
of Pokemon?
Exactly.
I don't know how I feel about that.
No, he was so good, dude. That's my fave.
Okay, so we got Chatot and Gengar, our favorites.
Steelix is up there, too. I think some days, it depends on my mood. Sometimes Steelix will be my fave.
I feel like Steelix has been your favorite since you were a kid. I remember when we were kids, you talking about Steelix being
is sick, bro.
Your dude.
The thing is, he's just like a badass version of Onyx, you know what I mean? And Onyx was already kind of tight, you know what I mean? But then you got Steelix, and it's just like... Psh.
Onyx and Steelix are cool, but they both look like big turds. In my opinion, like the way they're shaped,
I guess.
You know, like if you.
But I'm just thinking, like, what? Like that's probably the most intimidating Pokemon. If you just like have it right in front of you, like about to just tail slap you, you know what I mean? Like,
most intimidating Pokemon, I would have to say would be Scyther, just because his hands are fucking scythes.
Yeah, but imagine a Scyther. I mean, just imagine
and
in real
a
life, you know, like Scyther goes up. Imagine you have 2 big old machetes, you know. And you go up to a Steelix and you just hit it with the machete. It's just going to bounce off, dude. You know? What are you even going to do? You know?
Why do I have 2 machetes to fight this Pokemon?
You're emulating Scyther. You know what I
mean? No. I thought you were talking about, like, fear as in, like, horrifying. Like, which one would be the most intimidating?
Oh, yeah. I guess if you're just, like, walking down a dark alley and, like...
And a Scyther's at the end of it. He can fly and he has fucking blades for hands. He's like fucking Freddy.
Yeah, but I still feel like if you hit a Scyther in the jaw, you might be able to drop it. You know what I mean? Whereas like Onyx,
that's true.
It's just a no-go. You know, you're gonna get smushed.
That's true. Onyx is kind of dumb, though.
But I guess you could climb away from an Onyx, whereas with a Scyther, it'd just fly after you.
Yeah, and just pick you up and slice you into pieces. Yeah. Or you could just throw water on Onyx.
That's what Detective Pikachu needs to be about. Like a murderous Scyther that's just killing everybody.
Cutting slowpoke tails off.
They just need to make it rated R as fuck, and it's just like...
Yeah, dude. I like it. So what you got over there? Give us some news, dude.
So those of you that haven't already heard, Harry Potter Wizards Unite is out now. So go pick it up if you're interested. It came out a little earlier than people expected it to. That's kind of short news. So I'll give you one more real quick. There is a free Spider-Man game for VR right now out. So go check that out. It's a tie-in for the movie, but it's pretty good. And if you're a VR user and you have the game Moss, there is new DLC that just came out today for free. And if you don't have Moss, you should probably go get Moss if you have VR.
For sure. Did you play the Harry Potter game?
The Harry Potter game?
For the phone?
No, I didn't. Not yet.
Okay.
I downloaded it. I have it on my phone. Like, I have every intention of playing it. I just have been lazy and haven't done it. I'm kind of hoping. I'm waiting for summer to go away.
yeah, it's too hot. It's basically Pokemon Go, though, with a Harry Potter coat of paint.
So are you catching things? I don't understand. Like,
hold on. I have a little thing here that...
Did you try it?
I haven't, but this like describes like how the gameplay works.
Because I just don't understand. You know, like what Harry Potter scenario is going to require me to catch magical beasts and keep them? You know what I mean?
Well,
am I Hagrid in this bitch?
It says Harry Potter Wizards Unite has expanded once again, and it's now officially available in both the United States and United Kingdom. The Harry Potter themed free-to-play mobile game was scheduled to launch in both markets on June 21st, but it arrived ahead of time on Thursday. This follows its release earlier this year in both Australia and New Zealand. But regardless, if you're in any of the available regions, you can now download the game on iOS.
Right, we know that.
The mobile game was developed by Pokemon Go maker Niantic and revolves around a similar style of augmented reality-based gameplay where you navigate the real world and collect things. As such, it requires an internet connection, and some players have reported intermittent issues throughout the day. If you can't get in, keep trying. Elsewhere in the world, you'll just have to keep waiting. Niantic has not announced when the game will be available in countries outside of the blah, blah, blah. Anyways, like the aforementioned AR game Pokemon Go, which it bears numerous similarities to, Wizards Unite is free to download and features optional microtransactions. You can spend money to purchase gold, which can then be used to buy in-game items such as potions, dark detectors, which reveal special items, rune stones, which are required for wizarding challenges, and more. You'll also have to deal with needing more spell energy, which works almost like Pokeballs. The story of Wizards Unite revolves around an event known as the Calamity, which has caused foundables, which are people, creatures, and artifacts from the wizarding world, to appear in the Muggle world, thereby risking their discovery. Moreover, these foundables are sealed by confoundable magic. As a member of the Statute of Secrecy Task Force, it is your commission to break these confoundable spells and retrieve the foundables. You'll interact with Harry Potter and other familiar faces and complete tasks that involve navigating the real world through blah, blah, blah. Anyway,
well, that sounds fun.
Yeah, you're just trying to keep them from being seen by Muggles.
I'm about that life.
Yeah, I don't even know if we can say Muggles in 2019. But anyways.
Oh, jeez.
What you got?
Let's see. New game consoles from Microsoft and Sony are in development, but the head of Bayonetta developer Platinum Games is not all that excited by them, apparently.
I hate new consoles.
Studio head at Atsushi Inaba told Video Game Chronicle that the new systems, the PlayStation 5 and Project Scarlet, are, quote, more of the same. Quote, it's okay. And by that I mean, I'm sure that things will move faster, graphics will be better, and maybe it will be easier with less wait times. That's good for the consumer, Inaba said. But it's more of the same, quite frankly, compared to the previous generations. It's nothing that's disruptive or super innovative, if you ask me. Inaba went on to say that in the past, game consoles formerly featured custom chips that were not possible on PC. But today, now you look at it and they're just grabbing stuff that already exists, Inaba said. He pointed out that Nintendo Switch uses the Tegra chip that was used in other systems before it, even if it was updated or changed in some ways. The PS5 and Project Scarlet, meanwhile, feature custom chips from AMD. We don't know all the specifics yet about each console, but both companies have said that their new systems will offer things like backwards compatibility, ray tracing, and faster load times, while they will also apparently feature faster load times thanks to solid-state drive. Sorry, this is written really badly. Inaba said he's more excited about cloud gaming instead of stuff that kind of already exists but has been repurposed to a certain degree. That's why, for me, things like cloud platforms represent innovation and something very, very different. They're platforms that excite me and where I feel there is a lot more innovation happening, he said.
Says the guy who made a God of War clone. No,
right.
I'm just kidding. Anyway.
Let's see. Yeah, so, you know. And they're working on a Nintendo Switch game right now, so it's like, come on, guys. I don't know, man. To me, it's like you're acting like Xbox isn't working on streaming stuff too. You know what I mean? You're acting like PlayStation isn't working on streaming stuff too. Because I guarantee you, PlayStation's got some kind of streaming thing that they're not talking about. That they're.
We already know they're working with Xbox. Remember?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
they just haven't
they'll have
formally
streaming.
announced their like grand plan for the next you know generation streaming. But you already know they're gonna have something. You know what I mean? Like he acts like this is just.
For sure.
I don't know.
Speaking of which, Microsoft's E3 briefing this year was missing a few things some people might have expected. Forza Motorsport developer Turn 10 did not show its new game, while Microsoft's new studio, The Initiative, also didn't show up during the event. Some also expected to see the rumored new Fable game from Forza Horizon developer Playground's second team. Now, Xbox's boss, Phil Spencer, has explained why Microsoft focused more on the games coming out in the closer future than those that could release further out. Spencer told Kotaku that he was proud that 12 of the 14 first-party titles that Microsoft showed off at E3 were shipping in the next year. We were really able to focus on what's coming now, which I think is awesome, he said. And then I think about the studios. Where was Initiative? Where was Forza Motorsport Studio Turn 10? Where was Playground's second team? Spencer said it felt nice to not have to show all of its first-party games at the show. He said teams like 343 Industries and Turn 10 have been given time to come up with new games that really excite people. Quote, we gave them time. We did 4 Halos in 4 years, giving them an opportunity to really think and have a creative impact when they launch. Turn 10 is similar. I want to give them time to think through their plans, he said. I love what they do with Motorsport, but you've got to be able to listen to your studios when they need time, and they want to focus on more things. And as you have more content, you're able to do that, Spencer added. The executive went on to say that quality for first-party games is very important. He acknowledged that in the past, it became more difficult to align the first-party Xbox portfolio of games with release dates chosen years before release. Now that Microsoft owns more studios, it now has 15 owned studios, it's allowed the company to create room for Microsoft to focus on quality. Okay.
I don't know. I think it's a good thing that they're giving these people time. I think it's probably better that most of this stuff comes out around the same time as Scarlet anyways, regardless of the fact if it comes out on Xbox One or Xbox Scarlet. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because it'll definitely be backwards compatible. You know what I mean? Probably through Game Pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think the more value you give to Game Pass, especially around the launch of Scarlet, the better. You know? So.
And I think he's just giving an answer for why you didn't see these things at E3. My answer to his answer is that that's just PR bullshit. They just know that if they play their whole fucking hand right now, PlayStation's going to come in and eat their fucking, their whole fucking lunch.
Well, not to mention, if they play their hand right now, people are going to start expecting it in the next year or two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
If they show any kind of, even if it's a little cinematic that just says Fable 4,
Yeah, then there's where's Fable?
They're going to be in for it. You know what I mean? They have to wait until they at least have something,
worth showing.
Semi-close to being, ready. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be a big game, whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. What you got? Give me something.
Let's see. The Minecraft movie has been in development for years already, and now it's reaching another stage of production. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Warner Brothers has hired Alison Schroeder, Hidden Figures and Frozen 2, to write the newest script. She's just the latest writer for the Minecraft movie. Aaron and Adam Nee, Band of Robbers, wrote an earlier draft, while Wonder Woman writer Jason Futchis wrote the draft before that.
Schrodinger's cat wrote.
That's what I was saying. Schroeder earned an Oscar nomination for co-writing Hidden Figures. She also co-wrote the Winnie the Pooh movie, Christopher Robin, and the upcoming Frozen 2. It's also been revolving door for the the Minecraft movie when it comes to directors. Warner Bros. Hired Stranger Things director Sean Levy, but he dropped out. The company later brought on its Always Sunny star Rob McElhenney
McElhenney.
McElhenney, excuse me. McElhenney, yeah, to direct, but he left the project too. Peter Sollett, Nick and Norda's Infinite Playlist, is now attached to direct. According to Minecraft developer Mojang, the Minecraft movie will focus on a teenage girl and her unlikely group of adventurers. They must defeat the evil Ender Dragon and save the overworld. It's not clear, however, if any of the plot details have changed now that Schroeder has been hired to write a new draft. We want to make the movie just as we make the game. For you, Mojang said.
Oh, thanks.
We're inspired by countless things, but none as much as the incredible stuff our community in Minecraft creates every day. I don't understand why it's so hard to make the Minecraft movie.
Because it's probably not worth making. Why are they making a movie out of it?
It doesn't make any sense. There's no plot. There's no point.
I think that's the issue.
But
then again, look at Minecraft Story Mode,
exactly
on Netflix,
which is exactly why it doesn't seem like it would be hard. You could literally do anything you want.
Have you tried the Netflix thing, the Minecraft Netflix?
I've played the Telltale one back in the day, which is totally different.
Dude, the Minecraft one made me want to just put a gun in my mouth.
Is it bad?
It's really bad.
Really? The Telltale
one... Not that suicide's a joke, but I just meant to, bite on
just
it
to
or
wash
something.
the taste out
just to wash the taste out. Get that gunpowder taste in there, you know what I'm saying?
No, but honestly, dude, fuck the Netflix one, but,
it's really bad.
My point is that
leave it alone.
It's like a blank canvas, though. Like, if you're gonna do a story and you're gonna do a movie,
do whatever.
It shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be that difficult. Like, just do something. It's like,
just do it.
You can literally do anything you want to. I don't know.
And I think the whole thing about them going through maybe 7 different people, to write this fucking story should just be a sign, let's not do this. Let's wait.
They need to hire the person who did the Lego movie 1 and 2.
Ooh, those were good movies.
I mean, doesn't it just make sense? You know what I mean? Like, that same kind of vibe would apply well to a Minecraft movie, I don't know.
Everything is awesome. Okay, so the new Avengers game from Crystal Dynamics has been likened to Bungie's Destiny in that you'll be able to team up online to complete missions with other players, but that is only an option. Crystal Dynamics boss Scott Amos confirmed in an interview that the game is playable offline. Quote, "We want somebody to be able to go buy a disc and never have to go online." Well, you have to download and install the game, sir. He explained to GI.biz, "You don't have to. You can have a complete experience and have fun." For those who do want to play online, Square Enix is promising a robust, ongoing, and evolving experience with new characters and locations added over time and for free. The idea from the beginning is that we want you to be able to customize your hero, how they look, how they play, the gear they have, and how they use it, Amos said. Your Black Widow could be different to my Black Widow, just a little, maybe a lot, depending on what you favor and how you unlock things. The Avengers game will make extra money beyond the upfront costs, though, or through various microtransactions for cosmetic items. There are no loot boxes or pay-to-win...
blue-ass Hulk, just like...
Yeah, basically. There are no loot boxes or pay-to-win mechanics, and Amos promises no gameplay paywalls. We want people to be able to play together and go on this journey, but we also want to say, if you want to overinvest in your characters and customize them, you've got it, Amos said. We also have ways for you to earn a lot of those things. We want to give players as much flexibility as possible because it's for them. We make this for the fans. At the end of the day, we will listen to them and get feedback and then from them, and we'll adjust everything to serve that need. We want to reward them for the hours they're investing in our game.
I bet it'll be cool.
You hear about them surprise mechanics, though, dude?
I know that they're going to be adding new characters. I think when they add Spider-Man into the game, it'll officially be the Ultimate game.
Yeah.
But they probably won't because Sony has the rights to Spider-Man right now.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be like a PlayStation exclusive add-on or something. Wouldn't that be fucked up?
Yeah, we need X-Men in there, dude.
Oh, bro.
What you got?
There was no doubt a sequel would be in the works when Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse won both Academy Award and the Golden Globe for Best Animated Feature back in early 2019. But even despite the $375.5 million it has earned, there is now definitely confirmation of a sequel is definitely coming. Sorry, I don't know why they said definitely twice. They just can't write today. Producer Amy Pascal told IO9 her team is back in the lab. We are definitely hard at work on the sequel. No release date or window was provided, nor did she divulge any details about what's to come in the SpiderVerse sequel. We're only left with the news that we can expect another movie. And also, in other news, the actual Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie is going to be put on Netflix tomorrow, or today, I guess, when you're listening to this.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I'm excited. I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
That's good.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of really good things about it, so.
It's all right. It's pretty good. No,
pretty good.
Anyway, so this one's pretty big deal right here. I feel like this kind of is ridiculous, but during the June 19th hearing, the DCMS committee asked whether EA felt the sale of randomized items like loot boxes was ethical. Kerry Hopkins, EA's vice president of legal and government affairs, said the company uses the term quote-unquote surprise mechanics to describe the randomized item packs and compared the sale of loot boxes to several popular children's toys that are widely available in stores. Quote, it's something that's been part of toys for years, whether it's Kinder Eggs or Hatchimals or LOL Surprise, Hopkins told the committee. We do think the way that we have implemented these kind of mechanics is actually quite ethical and quite fun. This is all about microtransactions and loot boxes. Hopkins added, we think it's like many other products that people enjoy in a healthy way, and customers like the element of surprise. Well,
I think she's right, actually. I mean, as much as I want to be like, oh, fuck EA, fuck the big, monsters or whatever, and she's right. There's lots of toys out there that have been doing the random thing, basically in loot box format for years, and people are just calling it out because it's digital and it's not something physical you can hold in your hand. You know what I mean?
That's true. Though she chose a pretty bad, thing to compare it to.
Hatchimals?
No. Kinder Eggs, which are actually banned in America.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought I saw a Kinder Egg. Is that a recent thing?
No, we have Kinder Eggs, but they're not the
they don't
legit
have, like,
Kinder
the toys
Eggs.
And stuff? Yeah,
we don't have
bullshit.
legit Kinder
They
Eggs.
They don't have the legit Wonder Balls anymore either. They used to have sweet ass shit in your Wonder Balls. Now it's just hard candy in your Wonder Balls.
Wonder, what's
yeah, you're not wondering anymore. You know exactly what's in your Wonder Ball now.
Dude, my Wonder Balls were just fucking wondrous.
They don't have
back
good
in the day.
prizes in Cracker Jacks either. This all must be related to the same kind of.
Yeah, because too many kids were just eating them. They'd eat the prize on accident, I'm guessing.
See, I was the opposite. I would be playing with the prize so hard I'd accidentally play with the Cracker Jacks.
But see, okay. Since we're on EA, I might as well get this out of the way. They did do some good things here. The Electronic Arts CEO Andrew Wilson and a series of other high-ranking executives at the publisher declined their cash bonuses for the last financial year, which ended March 31st. This was confirmed in a Securities and Exchange Commission filing dated June 21st and reported on by Game Daily. Quote, our CEO and his staff requested that they receive no performance cash bonus award for fiscal 2019, reads a line from the filing. The filing mentioned that Wilson and the other executives declined their cash bonuses due to EA's poor financial results in fiscal year 2019. And, quote, in order to maintain alignment with our pay for performance executive compensation philosophy, while we are disappointed with our fiscal 2019 results, we understand the challenges we face, and we will continue to focus on how we can apply the strengths of our company to capitalize on our opportunities. The statement explains, EA made $4.95 billion for fiscal 2019, which was down from $5.15 billion during the previous fiscal year. The downturn in revenue might sound surprising given EA landed a huge hit with Apex Legends during the year. However, the title was only released in February 2019, which was just ahead of the end of the fiscal year in March. EA also had a few high-profile misses during the year, including Battlefield 5 and Anthem, both of which underperformed. The other EA executives who declined their cash bonuses for the year included CFO Blake Jorgensen, CTO Kenneth Moss, Chief Marketing Officer Chris Bruzzo, and Chief Studios Officer Laura Miele. Patrick Soderlund, who quit EA in August 2018, also reportedly gave up his bonus. EA reportedly offered Soderlund $20 million in equity bonuses to stay at the company, but even so, he left to establish Embark Studios in Sweden. At the time, it was believed that Soderlund took the $20 million with him, but Game Daily reports that he did not. The funds are instead reportedly going into a pool to help secure new hires, among other purposes. According to Game Daily, the EA executives declined their cash bonuses and instead put the money into a bonus pool to be paid to employees. Combined, the bonuses amount to around $4.8 million to be paid to employees, and that doesn't count the $20 million equity bonus from Soderlund. According to Game Daily, the SEC filing also reveals that all of EA's named executive officers received an increase to their base salary in fiscal 2019. Wilson now makes $1.192 million annually, while Jorgensen gets $850,000 a year.
And that's just their base pay.
Yeah, Moss and Bruzzo make $675,000 every year. Miele, who only just started as chief studios officer, makes $675,000 annually as well. Soderlund, who left EA during fiscal 2019, made $572,000 as a base salary. All numbers are in U.S. dollars. Wilson's total pay package, including stock awards and other compensation, was $18.3 million for the latest fiscal year. That is just about half of what he earned the year prior. The non-equity incentive plan compensation is empty for all of the NEOs, and that's because they decline their cash bonuses. Oh, dude. Oh, no.
They're going to starve bonus, now, dude. Oh, fuck.
Like, at first, you're like reading this, and you're like, wow, how noble.
I know, right?
And then you're like, holy fuck. God damn it.
Oh, he gave up fucking $200,000 of his $18 million, dude. God, like, are you
a year?
Fucking kidding? And that's just from last year. Okay, I went and did a little more research on this because that blew my mind. That's just from last year. That's his equity bonuses from last year. He got like $17 million and then another $1 million for some other thing. But then the year before that, he got like $31 million.
Yeah, they said it was just half of what he made the year before.
That's what I'm saying. Like, holy fuck. And that's just the equity bonus on top, like, of his $1 million, and then on top of, like, other little, like, he makes like a fuckload of money. And that's the CEO. The CFO guys are still making like millions, dude. Like, they're getting like 8 or 9 million from the fucking like equity bonuses. You know what I mean?
They could literally like just make $1 million a year. You know, or like even less than that. They could drop it down to like, okay, I'm gonna make $800,000 a year. The top guy makes $800,000 a year, and they could probably make like 10 more games a year.
Dude, yeah, for real.
Like, what the fuck is going on over there?
And it is cool that they're gonna do bonuses for the other employees and stuff. But how much do you think the other employees are making comparatively? Like, I don't know, dude. Like, that just seems kind of fucked. Like, and it also kind of seems like you think about Tim Sweeney from Epic over there, who's making a killing, you know what I mean? But he's really not doing much better than these guys, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just kind of makes you think. It's like, you know, Epic is doing way better financially than EA right now. You know what I mean? You know it, you know? And
it's all them Call of Duties, dude. No, wait, that's not my bad. It's all them Battlefields.
Yeah, probably. I don't know, man. It just blows my mind to even think about it. It's like...
It's like something I'll never see. I'll never understand.
It hurts.
It really does. How do you go from college to that? You know?
Oh, jeez.
Anyways, what you got?
In other companies making lots of money news, Harry Potter Wizards Unite appears to be another big success for developer Niantic Labs. According to data from research company Sensor Tower, the free-to-play mobile game pulled in $300,000 combined from Apple iOS and Google Play mobile platforms during its first 24 hours of availability. That is kind of only a drop in the bucket, though, compared to Pokemon Go, which generated $2 million on its first day.
Yeah, with its free-to-play,
but still,
system.
That's probably pretty good. I mean, it's still probably pretty profitable for what they put into making the game and stuff. You know?
Yeah, if it's the first day, if it continues like that, then of course, yeah, that's
sure.
crazy. So, From Software's new game Elden Ring boasts a high-profile partnership with fantasy author George R.R. Martin, but it's shaping up to be more than a Souls game infused with Martin's lore. The transition to an open world game and some of the world building from Martin are making it into what Dark Souls creator Hidetaka Miyazaki feels is the next logical step for the genre he helped to create. Quote, with a larger world, new systems and action mechanics inevitably become necessary, Miyazaki told IGN. In that sense, I think that Elden Ring is a more natural evolution of Dark Souls. For example, the protagonist of Elden Ring can travel the world on horseback and even fight enemies while mounted. Miyazaki says this leads to more diverse combat situations, rather than restricting players to combat within tightly confined spaces. The addition of horseback also means that spaces can be set further apart, including villages. But unlike many RPGs, these villages won't be safe havens full of NPCs and happy shopkeepers. Villages will be the dark dungeon-like ruins that you have come to expect from us, Miyazaki said. Creating a more open game is a big challenge for us. If we were to add towns on top of that, it would become a bit too much. So we decided to create an open world style game focused on what we are best at. So basically, you're just getting an open world Dark Souls game.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. I'm sure a lot of people won't be either.
No, I'm not mad at it. I'm just not going to play it.
No.
Because
It's just not my thing, man.
No.
You know, I tried to play Dark Souls 2, and I tried to play Bloodborne, and I both of which, I'm just like, nope.
Get good, dude.
I know. That's what I was telling myself the whole time I was playing Bloodborne, but I just couldn't do it.
I've heard Bloodborne's way easier than like Dark Souls, though, and way faster.
Well, then count me out of Dark Souls, because Bloodborne is hard as fuck.
Yeah, dude. I just don't have the patience.
Yeah.
Like, I played Dark Souls 2, and like after about like an hour, I was like, fuck this game.
Dude, yes.
I was gonna like break it in half, but I borrowed it. So, anyways, what you got?
That's it. That's all I got.
Okay, let me jump into some stuff. 343 confirmed in a blog post that Halo Infinite will support LAN and that the already announced split screen feature is up and running.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a big deal because Halo 5 dropped split screen in a move that upset a number of series fans, including myself. 343 also announced that the beta test for Halo Infinite, known as Flights, will take place first on Xbox and then PC. The testing periods will start small and then slowly expand up until the game's release in holiday 2020. Flighting may come a little bit later for PC players, but we're treating it as a first-class citizen, 343 said. The studio also confirmed that the characters in Halo Infinite will have black undersuits. That sounds like a small detail, but in Halo 4 and Halo 5, players had different colored undersuits, which garnered a mixed reaction from fans. Okay.
Who cares?
Additionally, 343 teased Halo Infinite's armor customization options, saying, if you like the level of armor customization in Halo Reach, you will be pleased with Halo Infinite. On top of that, 343 confirmed that those who reach the highest level in Halo 5, SR152, will receive a token of appreciation in Halo Infinite. Finally, 343 stated that it has an internal team of professional gamers testing Halo Infinite's multiplayer. And on the side of the story, 343 reaffirmed that Halo Infinite's story begins sometime after the end of Halo 5.
I'm hyped. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah. More Halo.
So I'm just happy they're bringing the split screen back, man. That was such trash. I think that was my least favorite thing about 5, you know?
Yeah, it was stupid. That, and it just felt weird. After an impressive showing during EA Play at E3 2019, new details about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order have emerged. A Respawn Entertainment developer cites the Metroid series as a prominent influence on how exploration is handled in the upcoming third-person action-adventure game. Lead-level designer Jeff Majors sat down with Game Informer to discuss Jedi Fallen Order's exploration. Majors said it's an exploration game from the level design perspective at its core, and that traversal feels snappy and responsive. But while things like mixing in the wide range of traversal tools to make the moment-to-moment feel really good, and no UI objectives in the world sound nice, things got interesting when Majors mentioned how Metroid, among other titles like the Legend of Zelda franchise and the Dark Souls games, influenced the hotly anticipated Star Wars game. Quote, Metroid absolutely served as an inspiration for us. Majors told Game Informer. What the Metroid-style level design does for us is somewhat of a way to give the player guided exploration. A ton of freedom within the world, but at the same time, we can deliver really handcrafted moments and really focus on the moment-to-moment. So Majors then described design sensibilities common in Metroidvanias. Hidden secrets, backtracking, abilities, weapons that unlock new areas. For Jedi Fallen Order, force powers are lock and key mechanisms. Blah, blah, blah. So basically expect a very...
linear kind of game with little shoots that you like, kind of like Doom. Like the new Doom.
I would say more, kind of like that, but more just like Metroid Prime, where like you go one way and it's like, oh, this shit's locked. I can't go through here. So you keep going and then you get something and then you're like, oh, I remember I can go back and open that one spot that I couldn't get in earlier, which doesn't sound very fun to me.
I mean, I don't know. I just hope it's good. You know, I don't mind if they do it like that, but it's not really something I would be like, you know, who cares? You know what I mean? Lots of games do that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
what are you talking about, dude? It's a Metroidvania.
Look at like Resident Evil 7, you know, it's the same kind of, that's the whole
framework
premise of the game, you know what I mean? Like,
but a little bit more on that on Jedi Fallen Order. It says they were talking specifically. Developer Respawn says you will only be able to dismember enemies with your lightsaber in quote-unquote select cases. Senior designer Justin Perez explained to IGN that probably only droids and spiders can have their limbs cut off from your lightsaber attacks. Humanoid characters, however, generally cannot be dismembered, and that's apparently because Disney is a family-friendly company. Separately, story artist for the Clone Wars, Tatiana Drury Carvin, explained to IGN that one of Disney's rules is that they should never show blood and they should hide the cut in case of decapitation.
Oh my god!
Yeah, according to the rules, the burn
Disney so much, dude.
According to the rules, the burn of a lightsaber is supposed to cauterize it instantly. Carvin explained. Apparently, this also applies to Jedi Fallen Order. Lightsabers are capable of dismembering enemies, but this is rarely depicted in Star Wars media. Everyone remembers the scene where Darth Vader lops off Luke Skywalker's hand and then blah, blah, blah. The fact that instances of dismemberment by lightsaber are
rarely happens. Like every movie. Like...
Every movie. And what about
Episode 1?
Jedi Outcast, dude?
Where they cut Darth Maul in half and he fucking falls in two pieces down the fucking
No
tube.
blood, though. But Jedi Outcast, you cut people's arms off, like, constantly in that game.
Yeah, but, I mean,
and legs.
There shouldn't be blood. Technically, they're right about that. They should cauterize the wound, and there shouldn't be blood. Technically, so I mean that's okay. You know, I'm not like mad that there's no blood.
I want to cut legs off.
I do want to cut legs off.
I want to cut the arms off.
Obi-Wan Adventures, man, you're cutting people. Or no, those were all droids, I think. But still,
Jedi Outcast, dude, you can literally cut people's arms off. Yeah. Almost every person you come into contact with, you can cut their arms off. Mm-hmm. But anyways, whatever. Fuck it.
I'm just thinking about like in the movies, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, there's lots of dismemberment.
There's lots of dismemberment. You know, they're just saying in general, like they're acting like it doesn't happen, but
no, they're saying from now on, like part of the canon, Disney's not gonna allow it.
Disney, dude, they should have thought of that before they bought the shit, dude. You know what I mean? I don't know. That makes me so mad.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Like, what's the point? They might as well change their weapons, like.
Yeah, they're just foam sabers, pillow fights. But yeah, that's it for the news, guys. We're going to jump on over to this week's releases where you can find out what brand new games are coming out in the next 7 days. We're starting off with The Sinking City, which is coming to Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC on June 27th for $59.99.
I feel like I've heard of this one.
Yeah, you probably have. The Sinking City is a game of investigation and mystery taking place in a fictional open world inspired by the works of H.P. Lovecraft. The player steps into the shoes of a 1920s private investigator who finds himself in the city of Oakmont, Massachusetts, New England. A city suffering from unprecedented floods of clearly supernatural origins, a city trembling on the brink of madness. Can you survive the beleaguered town and untangle the mysteries responsible for its tragic situation, or will you be driven beyond madness yourself?
What is it with everything in H.P. Lovecraft, dude? I saw this space game that was based on H.P. Lovecraft the other day. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like...
People like Cthulhu, dude. I don't know.
I've
never read an H.P. Lovecraft book ever in my life.
Me either. I have no idea. It's all the rage right now, though, you know?
Yeah. But I know that guy was like a blatant racist, you know?
Was he really?
Yeah, but it was back in the day, you know?
I don't know these things.
It's like 1800s.
You know?
But yeah, I've never read his stuff, so I don't know. Not saying you should, not saying you shouldn't, whatever. Penn Teller VR, frankly unfair, unkind, unnecessary, and underhanded, is coming to PC, PSVR, Oculus Quest on June 27th for $19.99. Penn Teller
$20. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Penn Teller VR, frankly unfair, unkind, unnecessary, and underhanded, is a virtual reality experience featuring magicians Penn Teller perform 10 plus cruel magic tricks disguised as cutting-edge science that will leave your loved ones screaming and you cackling maniacally. Demonstrate the healing powers of immersion therapy, test your telekinetic powers, or even guide your soon-to-be ex-friends as they perform the most dangerous act in showbiz. No friends? We thought so. Strap on your headset and become a high-rise grime fighter or a willing volunteer in one of Penn Teller's acts. You can even slip into the virtual shoes of legendary magicians Houdini, Cardini, and Penn Gillette himself and perform your own water escape and card trick with Penn Teller as your magical mentors. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like into like stage magic, that might be, something you'd be really into,
Well, it sounds like you like get your friends who don't play VR and you put them in the situation and it's just something happens that's funny.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
I think that's what they're trying to say.
I think a lot of it is like it's going to let you like be the assistant in their magic tricks, so you can like see it behind the scenes. Like they put you in the box and make you disappear, and you see how it all happens from the back, kind of.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I mean, that's
what it's saying. It's your soon-to-be ex-friends as
well.
They
after that, it's talking about how it lets you go up on stage with them and stuff.
No, that was saying if you don't have friends and you want to play by yourself.
Yeah.
There's like a campaign mode where you're just doing magic shit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have friends, hey.
I think what that is more like just like built-in magic tricks that they do, and like your friends watching. Like, ooh, they tricked me.
That's stupid.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think so, because it really says that it's cruel magic tricks.
I mean, what could be cruel? What could they possibly do that would be...
Meldale.
No, I'm just kidding. Hey, try this VR game. And
you just start shanking him in the stomach. Oh my god.
It's a magic trick, bro.
Why does it feel so real? Graveyard Keeper is coming to Switch, PS4, and mobile on June 27th for $19.99. Expand your graveyard into a thriving business. Go and gather valuable resources scattered in the surrounding areas and explore what the land has to offer. That's already on Game Pass for free, though.
Really?
Yeah. Super Mario Maker 2 is coming to Switch on June 28th for $59.99.
Hey.
So yeah, by the time this goes up, day after tomorrow, Super Mario Maker 2 will be out.
Cool.
And then we got F1 2019 coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC on June 28th for $59.99. The official video game of the 2019 FIA Formula One World Championship, F1 2019 is the most ambitious release in the franchise history, building on the success of previous iterations to deliver an experience that rivals the quality and production values of the real-life sport. And then we got Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered coming to Switch on July 2nd for $29.99.
Remastered.
But yeah, everyone knows what that is. It's just coming to Switch. And then we got Furwind coming to Xbox One, PS4, and Vita on June 27th for $9.99. In the action platformer Furwind, embark on this epic adventure in which a little fox will fight the ominous darkness that is invading the world. Furwind is made in a colorful pixel art that evokes the challenging classics of the old days. The old war between ancestors ended with the imprisonment of one of them. Darhoon, who was caged for eras, has been released from his captivity and is ready to take the dark and the madness to the forest. Okay, and then we got Final Fantasy XIV Online Shadowbringers coming to PS4, PC, and Mac on July 2nd for $39.99. Final Fantasy XIV Online Shadowbringers is the third major expansion pack to the epic MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV Online A Realm Reborn. Shadowbringers will take players on new adventures to battle against the threats to the realm as they become warriors of darkness. Players can expect to find an abundance of new content, including a new player race, multiple new jobs, an increased level cap up, sprawling new areas, adjustments to the battle system, as well as a variety of new battle crafter and gatherer content. In addition to these core features, a number of new systems will be introduced with Shadowbringers. And then we got Will, A Wonderful World, coming to PS4 on July 2nd for $14.99. There was an urban legend. Write your troubles down on a note. Hold it in your hand at midnight and pray. God, please help me. Then God will hear your plea and change your fate. A young girl wakes up, groggy and in an unknown room. A talking dog appears before her, and she becomes startled by his revelation. They are gods, and it is their duty to change the fate of any humans that ask for their help. Okay, then we got War Tech Fighters coming to Xbox One and PS4 on June 27th for $19.99. In the sci-fi mech action game War Tech Fighters, lead a talented squadron of rogue pilots set adrift in space after the ruthless Zatros Empire conquered colonies of Hebos and Eris. Armed with giant fighting robots called War Techs, Captain Nathan Romanis and company traverse the...
Captain Nathan Romaine!
Yeah.
I like that.
Romanis and company traverse the galaxy across more than 30 missions to liberate their people and exact vengeance on their evil oppressors once and for all. Okay. Yeah, that's it for this week's releases, guys.
Word.
I mean, Super Mario Maker 2 is probably the most exciting thing on there.
Definitely.
But, so yeah, if you want to go grab that, go grab it, guys. We're going to jump on over to this week's currently playing. So, what are you currently playing?
Man, I'm playing a lot of stuff. I'm playing most of the stuff I was playing last week because most of it's like long, involved story stuff,
Yeah.
So I'm playing Shenmue still. I haven't gotten too much further in that.
Where you at?
Let's see. Let me try to think of the most recent thing I did. I've been beating people up.
Have you taken the bus yet?
No, I haven't taken the bus.
Okay,
but I'm ready to take the fucking bus because I'm so sick of the area I'm in right now.
Doobie. I forget what the city's called.
Dubuita or whatever.
Dubuita.
Yeah, I'm so sick of this place, but I think I'm getting close to being out of there.
Yeah.
I'm tracking all this stuff. I'm finding all this stuff. I'm waiting outside of bars for hours at a time, just standing there.
Oh my god, that's the worst part. Is there's no way to speed up time.
Yeah, there needs to be a button that Skyrim style where you just wait.
I feel like in Shenmue 2 there probably is.
Oh, they need it. They need it bad. Or they need in the Final Fantasy remakes where you can hit the button and it speeds up times 3. That would be convenient also.
For sure. I just go to the arcade anytime I have to wait.
Yeah, I go to the little slot machine place when I have to wait. So
yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing Shenmue. On and off. Usually that's what I play right before bed. You know what I mean? It's like my go to sleep game.
For sure.
I've also been playing Final Fantasy VII. I went out of town with my girlfriend this past week. And we stayed at a hotel, and I stayed up all night playing Final Fantasy VII on the Switch, and I was having a lot of fun with it, and I'm still having a lot of fun with it. So, I've kind of been hopping when I want a game that's kind of less upbeat. I've been playing either Shenmue or Final Fantasy VII. Those are kind of my two go-tos right now.
For sure.
And I'll probably be playing those for a while, so you can expect me to give you updates on both of those throughout the next few weeks, I think, because I probably won't be finished with either of them for a little bit. They're both really long games. I'm still playing a little Metro, but not nearly as hard as I was. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish it or not. I'm still playing it, though. I haven't completely given up,
Yeah.
I went back and played a little bit of Fallout 76 last night. It's pretty fun. They've added a lot of stuff into it. They've upgraded the, storage capacity at your camps to a lot more than it was. They've added a lot of little things that enhance the game. You can be a vendor now. I've got a little store that I set up, and so when I'm in the lobby, you can come to my store and buy shit. We've got and you can set your prices and stuff. It's really fun. And then the battle royale mode is really good that they just put in. Except it's kind of hard to switch weapons on the fly. I keep finding guns and getting in shootouts where I'm doing really good, and then I run out of weapons, and I'm trying to go into my menu and switch guns really fast, and then I fucking end up getting killed because I don't have my shit hotkeyed, But it's really fun for what it is. It actually works really well as a battle royale game.
Nice.
So I've been playing a little bit of that. I played a little bit of Zoo Tycoon last night. I don't know why.
From Game Pass?
From Game Pass, yeah.
I played that quite a bit before.
It's cooler than I thought it would be because you can go into the third person and walk around your zoo and ride golf carts around your zoo. I ended up just drifting around my zoo most of the time, so
that game should be co-op.
It really should.
I feel like that would be fun.
You should have one person walking around the zoo feeding all the fucking animals and one person doing the
building and shit.
Yeah. And then I woke up this morning to the news of the free Moss and the free Spider-Man VR stuff. So I downloaded both of them. But I only got around to playing the Spider-Man one today. And let me, first of all, if you're going to download this, don't accidentally download the Spider-Man VR Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the Far From Home one. Okay, they put out a promotional VR thing for both of them. This one is like 400 times better than the Homecoming one. The Homecoming one was just a basic little like shooting gallery where you just like shoot cans with your webs, and then it like shows the bad guy from the movie like fly up, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna get him, and then it's over, you know. In this one, you actually can like run. It's all like really low poly, like really bad graphics. Like it looks like it's made for like Gear VR, you know what I mean? But that's the only bad thing about it. Like you can swing around this big open city like Windland style with your fucking webs, and like you can like land and run and jump really high and like pull yourself through the fucking air with your ropes, and like you can fight these robots and shit, and it's all free. I mean, like it was just a free download. Like it's so much fun for free. Like I was playing all morning just swinging around this virtual city, dude. Like it was so
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool. And like I don't know, it's just one of the better like free things I've ever downloaded. Like because I was so turned off by it when I watched like gameplay videos online. I was like, this is gonna suck. Because it looks bad. It looks really bad. Like, it looks like an Oculus Quest game on, like, just really bad version of one. You know what I mean? But, like, dude, it's fun. Like, the way you run and jump and, like, wall crawl and stuff, it's so cool, dude. Like, and, like, you can shoot a web on each building and, like, put your hands together, and it'll, like, make this, like, web net, and you can, like, catch robots in it and shit, and, like, you can make two of them and, like, bounce back and forth between them and stuff. I don't know.
That's pretty neat.
I mean, just for, like, a little free thing,
like
for,
a
like, a promotional...
sandbox.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun for what it is, you know? Like, it has this, like, really short, like, 5-minute, like, boss fight, like for the campaign mode or whatever, the story mode, and then you can get it gives you like an upgraded suit where you can like touch your head and see like objectives throughout the city, and you can like swing around the city and collect like, you know, collectibles after you're done. So there's a lot to do for a free thing. And I don't know, as far as like movie tie-ins go, I wish more movies did this because it was really cool, and it actually made me want to go see the movie more for some reason. I don't know.
Nice.
So
but will you?
I don't know. I still need to watch
Homecoming.
No, I've seen Homecoming. I liked Homecoming. I need to watch Avengers Endgame because I've heard that it will spoil it for me if I don't.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so currently playing for me, just played Shenmue, you know.
You finished it?
I haven't finished it. I kind of like... The reason why I didn't finish it is because I started playing Spyro and got really caught up in collecting shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely gonna finish Shenmue. I'm like going back and forth. I'm pretty close to the end. I'm almost positive.
You almost have to have a second game when you're playing Shenmue, just because it doesn't scratch all the itches.
No,
you know what I mean? Like it's
not.
really fun, but it's like, I don't know. I just need something else to play while I'm playing it.
Yeah, and like, so I really wanted to play the Spyro Reignited trilogy. I was just in this like nostalgic mood, and Walmart was actually selling it for $24 instead of $39.99, which is what it's for sale everywhere else.
Yeah, that's what I paid for it.
Even at Walmart, it still says $39, but I showed them like on the app it showed that it was $24, and they gave it to me for the $24. So
dude, what a score, bro!
Definitely,
and that's a lot of game for $24, man.
3 games, and
3
it's beautiful.
full-ass games, yeah.
Yeah, you can see some of it this Saturday on Couch Bro Op, youtube.com/AljafferJamel. Anyways, but yeah, that's what I've been currently playing. You guys can let us know what you've been playing in the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/GameSpeak podcast. We're going to jump on over to the topic of the show. We had a special guest today, guys, so we hope you enjoy. All right, guys, today we are here with Kevin James Price with his indie development team, Midnight Anthology Games, right?
Hello there. There.
Yeah, tell
the butterflies.
So Kevin just let us know that the name of his indie studio just changed. So this is Some breaking news, guys. We got it right here for you.
Breaking news.
It's actually kind of a cool story. Kevin, why don't you tell them what you were just telling us before we went on the air?
All right. So we've been in development for 2 months under the original name Nocturnal Games, and we left that up there, because we thought it wasn't taken. So for 2 months, we were Nocturnal Games because everybody on the team stayed up until like 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning. And about 2 days ago, somebody decided to do a Google search because we were just talking about, legal stuff and all of that. And out of nowhere, there's this team called Nocturnal Games. So for the past 2 months, I have no idea. We just thought it was trademarked. Man. So for like the past 2 months, we were under a name that was legally trademarked.
Oops.
Unknowingly. Big oops, right?
Yeah.
Big oops.
That's not too bad.
Not too bad. We went through 50 different name suggestions in like the next hour that day. So we threw around, we tried to change Nocturnal to Midnight Games or 12 o'clock Midnight Games. I got so frustrated that I changed our name temporarily to Whiskey Tango Foxtrot Games, the military acronym for what the fuck.
I like it.
Because I got so frustrated. And then turns out that is trademarked too. It's a book and a movie.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. What is PM, like an AM and PM? What does PM stand for? You guys should have just called yourselves that Studios. Like whatever PM stands for. Studios.
I mean, if we could,
what
if I could figure out,
PM stand for?
I'm gonna say Pacific Mileage. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, anyways, Kevin, it's great to have you on the show.
Yeah. So
it's great to be here,
man. So yeah, we just wanted to talk to you about first off, who are you? Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, so I'm a mysterious character from another dimension. No, I'm kidding. I kind of wish. I kind of sometimes wish I was though.
Me too.
My name, Kevin James Price. James is my middle name. It's not the same, in the first name. I'm 22 years old. Unfortunately, unemployed. I've been playing video games ever since I could say dada and mama in the same sentence. And I've been a video game enthusiast ever since.
Wow.
I haven't been in the industry before. Not in this, scale, but I've seen video games come and go. I've seen them grow. I've played almost every single major title I could get my hands on. And I probably have played games that number around over 300 games, maybe more than 300, 400 maybe.
Nice.
I wonder how many, now that you say it like that, I wonder how many games I've played in my life.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Probably
Do you count pinball, like on Windows, like the computer, like space game or whatever? No, but I have a question for you. So, since you're 22, we're like 27 or on the verge of 27. Brent's 27. Mm-hmm. I'm about to be 27. What was your first console?
I was going to ask the same thing. I'm so curious.
My first console, I believe it was it a PlayStation or was it a Dreamcast? I remember playing both, ever since I could have the ability to remember.
Really?
I think, it was PlayStation and a Dreamcast. One of my family
Which one
friends
got more love? Did you have them both?
I loved my PlayStation more.
Oh yeah. See, I had the PlayStation and the Nintendo 64, and I had they both competed pretty hard for the love. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So my next major console that I switched to was the Xbox when it first came out in the 2000s.
Yeah. Same.
My dad got it when it first came out, and he got Halo, and that was probably the only console besides a PS2 that I've touched up until the 360, up until the Xbox One. I didn't even touch the PlayStation 3 or 4. I'm practically clueless now on how to use a PlayStation controller. But
really, so are
yeah.
you just like all PC?
I used to play a lot of PC. My PC nuked itself like a couple of months back. I used to play PC like it was no tomorrow. I played Gmod. I played Battlefield. I played a lot of games.
I feel that. So, okay. Now let's jump into, now that we kind of got a feel for what you like to play and like what, you know, your experience with games in general, what got you into development? Like, what made you want to jump into developing your own title?
Well, it was sort of like a combination of two things. I did creative writing in my pastime for like almost a good part of 10 years. And it was boring keeping around short stories in which I'm the only one reading them. So I was like, God damn it, what am I doing, you know?
Yeah.
And video games are like the perfect medium to tell a good story, a great story. Or if it's just a cheesy story, a fun one. Yeah. So I was like...
That's so true, though. I used to write a lot of short stories, and it's so hard to get people interested in reading your material and stuff, you know? I mean, just...
Right.
You know, it's hard to get people enthusiastic, but I bet you can put a game in front of somebody and they're right into it. Are you okay?
Yeah. my drill rifle fell over.
Oh, my gosh.
There's a ghost in here. I swear to God.
Oh, man. The first audio ghost documented on a podcast.
Are you Luigi, dude?
Oh God, I hope not. I swear that was not supposed to happen. You know what? I'm not even gonna argue.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna argue.
So, like, are you the writer in the development process, or
okay?
What exactly is it that you're doing?
So I am the project manager. I'm the project creator. I'm the narrative writer. I'm the main developer. I put all the stuff together. I manage the team. I basically do maybe 90% of the work in terms of the coding and the script writing and everything. And then like the rest of it, which is other major work, you know, voice acting. We have a cast. So for the most part, it's me writing, putting the game together, managing the team, managing the artists, all that good stuff.
How'd you get into coding, man?
Yeah, so how did you learn to code?
Not necessarily coding, right? I use this engine called 001 Game Creator, and I got it several years ago. And it's like super easy to use, but the thing about it is if you dig deeper into it, the simple things that it connects to in terms of coding is a little bit more flexible than Unreal Engine or anything. Like, It's not that powerful, but there's so much flexibility and leeway where that if you were not an experienced coder, and if you could utilize its tools really well, you can turn this engine into almost any game that you want. And you can even add your own code if you wanted to, rewrite the basic codes. You can completely destroy a set code piece, which is what I did for Nightfall. I took an RPG template, which was already coded with, you know, XP and mana and magic, and I freaking destroyed it, and I made it something else. And so it's very flexible that way. Not like with Unreal Engine, where the coding is like 3,000 pages or so in the engine, and it just takes forever just to sometimes get rid of a feature you don't want. So in 001, I can just do away with it within a second. I can get rid of mana. I can get rid of money, currency. I can get rid of all these different aspects.
So would you recommend this to people who are getting into development and want to try to make their own game, or would you say start somewhere else?
I'd say if you aren't expecting to get a killer Hollywood or AAA title game out of 001, then sure, it's a good start. Because let me be perfectly honest, this engine is still limited in, you know, some of the hardware, some of it. You can hire like an amazing artist and turn this game into something beautiful, but
so when you say limitations, you're talking about more graphical stuff.
Some coding limitations. There are some things that the engine just kind of wonks out on for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like it's like you can find a way around that. So if you are wanting something like simple, if you know like a good artist friend to import sprites and do some art with, and if you know how to manage a team, or if it's just you, if you know how to do all those things, I think 001 is a great start. Sure, you have to pay maybe $50 or so, but it's like now you have a good engine that's flexible. It's not the best, it's not Unreal Engine, it's not Unity, but it's a good start if you know how to do art by yourself, writing by yourself, or you know a group of people that know how to do that. It's a great start.
Well, like with Nintendo's hardware, limitation sometimes breeds creativity. So, like, I can see where if you're just starting out, it's okay to have these types of limitations because it's going to make you think on your feet.
Right.
Come up with different ways to get your story out. So, like, the people that you're working with, are these friends? Did you meet them online? How did this team come together?
So they're friends of mine from an app called Unlocked, and it's basically this one place where you get to meet all these anime voice actors and video game voice actors and actresses. And I met them there. I met one of them on Twitter beforehand, and that's how me and her became besties. Hashtag besties. But she introduced me to the app, and I met, for over maybe a month or so, I met a lot of amazing people that want to be voice actors, that know artists, and they just love what they do, or they have a dream and they want to do it. So one day, we were just like, the job hunting was not going so well, and I was like, these people love voice acting. They really want to do it, and I want to make a game that has a lot of voice acting in it. And so I was like, I'm planning to make one. Let's get this team together. And my friend, I crap you not, reads my mind. She doesn't even talk to me about casting searching, and she brings on two of my friends already, and we do a quick run through, and it went from 2 people to 14 to 16 people in the cast.
Nice.
In total. Wow. And it's still growing. We still have
I'll tell you
we
what.
still have people waiting.
If you want a GameSpeak cameo, send us some lines, and we'll be in there, man.
Now it's tempting. Now it's really tempting.
Yeah, we got some voices, man. No, I'm just kidding. Now, but like, okay, so you guys got this team together. Are you guys working remotely? Is that how you're doing all this?
So remotely, yes. We are like spread out. We had a voice actress who lived in New Zealand, like
cool,
across the Pacific, and it was sort of hard, to get the time differences in there. But once we kind of figured out, hey, we stay up until like midnight anyway. She's already up, and she's either working or not working, and it's problem solved, I guess.
And so you guys already have like audio recordings of all your voices and stuff like that, or are you in the process of this?
Yeah, so we're still in the process. We got several of them done. We have like since this game incorporates audio logs and stuff, we're recording those. We have a few of those files already. We have a few voice acting samples. We got some lines already recorded. We didn't get any of the monster sounds yet because we don't have them. Not all of them are drawn. We're getting there, but
yeah, no, I've seen some
of those things.
The concept art and stuff like that. So, hey,
let's back this all up a little bit. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your game that y'all are developing and working on right now? Because, I realize we haven't really talked much about it.
My bad.
I almost dodged that bullet. So, Nightfall is a top-down 2D horror action shooter. Ooh. And it's basically a love letter to the end of the golden age of gaming in 2004. With like Half-Life 2 and Doom 3 and these major titles that were iconic for the time before the golden age ended. It's that love letter to the golden age, but it's also a love letter to anime, science fiction, horror, dark fantasy. It pays homage to all of those things and incorporates it into the game. So it's old school meets a little bit of the new school a little bit.
Nice. I love
our
anime and I love horror, so this sounds like my kind of thing.
So our aim for the anime portion was that we're trying to make this look like an anime you can play.
Like with the art style, kind of?
Yeah, like quality-wise. We're not in-game. It's not going to be chibi looking or whatever.
And JAMAL showed me a little bit of your artwork, I think, and it was really nice. I was impressed.
Yeah, our artist, Alexandria Nietin, does like an amazing job. And it works when we want to bring the anime style to a game, instead of just dumbing it down to a chibi and some 2D, looking sprites. We're going all the way with how we want the sprites to look. We want it to look like what you would expect to see in an anime, like Sword Art or freaking the Angels of Death adaptation. We want it to look just as you would see it on the screen.
That's awesome.
I think that art style will work well with the limitations of your game engine. Yeah.
And it does. It really actually helps us a lot, because I looked at the market for these 2D games, and a lot of the time I see them doing the chibi style. I know there's like limitations to what you can do with sprites in a way, but we're trying to break that tendency, where you have like a face shot of a character that's in full anime or manga style, and then the character in game looks like 5 inches tall, a head bigger than the body and the legs.
Yeah.
And we want it to look as though you would see on the screen, all to scale. Well, if you took the camera back,
are like little proportional anime people.
Yeah, little proportional, full blown. So cool. I kind of asked, like, okay, what if we took Sword Art? We took the camera like up into the sky, pointing it downward. What would it look like?
Oh,
that was like the basis for the art direction.
I like that.
Nightfall.
Yeah.
I like that a lot,
especially with the horror aspect. One thing I gotta ask though. So it sounds ambitious, very ambitious, just like most indie developers. They're ambitious.
Right.
Have you projected all of this on some type of like, here's the priorities, here's the step by step, here's where we need to be in a year, here's where we need to be in 2 years? How long do you think this process will take, and where do you see yourself in 2 years with this game?
We could be less than a year, depending how much we get done. The thing about this project, like any project, is that it's very hard to narrow down a release date or a finishing date where you can go into post-production if need be. It's one of these things where a bump in a road can expand your time frame. And so what we're doing is we're not setting an exact date. We have like a 6 to 8 month, maybe a year time span. But that's if we keep the whole team where it is, if we're doing what we're doing right, if we're having, a good time making the beta builds, and if they're working properly, then maybe we can see the game coming out in maybe 8 months, but we didn't set a date yet or a specific time frame. We want to see how this development process will go. In 2 years, this game's already going to be out. This game might be already out. And I'm not setting the expectations up ridiculously high, because the industry, you just never know how an industry or the general populace that plays games are going to receive it. Because this game's not really for everybody at all. We're going full-blown gore fest right here. A dark tone, cheesy because it has to be, but gory, violent, unapologetic in the way that it is. And we don't know how successful the game will be that way.
I know everyone hates games like that. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I think you'll find an audience for it.
You'll definitely find an audience, especially if you guys are gonna put the time and effort into it that you're talking about.
So my question is, if everything goes according to plan, do y'all want this to come out on Steam, or is this going to come out on like consoles, or what's the plan here?
So for when we're done with production, we want it to come out on Steam, because we want to focus on this one port first, this PC port.
Sure.
Because it's hard to throw in another port in the middle of production, because now you have to divert resources. You have to talk to Microsoft, over the phone and ask them for whatever access you need and stuff like that, and deal with that baloney.
Yeah. Well, from what I understand, dealing with the console people isn't too easy, except I think Xbox is a little easier than some of it.
Yeah. But it's like, so we want the PC to come out first, so that when we see how successful the game is, when it's very, very stable, when it's successful in the way that we want it to be, we can go ahead and say a console port's needed. We don't want to do it like right out the gate and have like the port be as bad as the PC port if it's bad that way.
Yeah, you got to take some time to fix.
See where the
Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah. Well, that's like the plan.
Okay,
cool. So the plan is to put it out on Steam, just kind of see how it goes. This is your first game, right?
This is the very first one.
Gotcha. So, you said that you're not working right now. I have a question, and this is probably something that a lot of indie developers or people wanting to get into indie development would like to know. How do you fund this goal? Like, where do you see this being, funded from? Because obviously you got to have assets, you got to have resources.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, like, our funding plan is GoFundMe, and we might expand that even further. Like, we only got $45 in, but that $45 is going to go to somewhere very useful and affordable, and it's going to be one of those things for indie developers to understand. It's that if you are unemployed, it's going to be really hard to find somebody to get to work with you that's expecting pay out of this. And I have a team that I'm still going to pay them money for this. And it's really hard. It's especially in the indie in the indie world, where, in all honesty, some people are overpricing their work, just for doing concepts or doing voice work or 3D modeling. Some of these guys are asking for like Fort Knox in a sack bag to do a single model for a 3D game. So it's like, in the indie world, you got to know people that are friends with you, that believe in your project just as much as you do, that that you're cool with, that they're looking for experience instead of upfront pay in 2 briefcases on a steel table under a dim light.
Yeah.
It's not like the AAA world, where this company gives you maybe $300 million to pay your team, to pay for all the expenses of making the game, for doing all this stuff to get the game done in the time that they set for you. The indie development world is basically, you either have to have the money to afford people that might be too expensive for what they're worth, or you got to know people that you're friends with that would love the experience of working on a game.
Which sounds great. Like, whenever it comes to, working with friends and whatnot. But say the GoFundMe doesn't, pan out the way that you plan or hope for. What's your next step? What do you do? Do you go and find a job? Do you continue this project, or what do you do?
You continue, because this started without the GoFundMe. This was basically bare bones starting out, at least for Nightfall's case. And then the team, when we bring people on, I always say, hey, this has the possibility of not guaranteeing any pay or anything. And the same response I get is, I'm here to do what I want to do, voice act, or in the case of our artists, have an experience doing a video game while also improving her own skills, and just having a good time. And that's what that's what it is. And if you believe in your project very much, you would keep pushing, even if you have to throw in to find a job temporarily.
I like that attitude. You remind me a lot of.
Of course, it's going to be really hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You remind me a lot of this guy we interviewed the other day, Thomas Brush. He did the game Pinstripe, He worked on that game for, 3 or 4 years by himself because he couldn't fund it, and he just had to do all the legwork by himself. And he worked so hard, and he grinded, and he ended up getting the game out. And that game ended up funding all of his future projects because it was pretty well received. So it wasn't a Pinstripe; it was the game before Pinstripe. Yeah, the game,
right?
Yeah, and but it's that attitude. He had that same ambitious attitude, I'm going to do this regardless. You know what I mean? And it got him where he needed to be.
Yeah, and it's like when you have a team, voice actors and actresses or artists, people who help you manage it. You always have them on the mind as well. So you keep pushing, you keep working. I grew up in a military family, and we always have this thing of keep pushing, do not give up, no matter what happens. Because if you do give up, you let down yourself, you let down everybody around you, and it hurts just as much, just letting down everybody else around you. So when you're faced with this kind of adversity, if you get laid off a job or you can't seem to find one or whatever, you just keep going. No matter what, you just keep going. You keep coding, you keep putting stuff together, you keep managing the team, you keep doing what you need to do to get this thing done. Otherwise you wasted your time if you give up. That's not why you started a game. You always got to keep going. You always got to keep pushing until the final day, until the final beta test, until the final recording session, until the final day that you have to get this game done. And that's the mentality you gotta have.
I like that.
No, I like that. That's a good place for us to wrap up here, just because I feel like that's the most inspiring thing that you could leave potential indie developers and future indie developers with, who are, or maybe even people who are in the same boat as you and struggling right now. I feel like that's what we should let them hear, and just kind of take that hype and drive it into the fucking ground. Because I mean, we need that too. We do that with our podcast. Right. It's a thing that no matter what, you just keep going. Week after week, day after day. But yeah, Kevin, I mean, this has been great. We can't wait to see Nightfall because I believe that you're gonna get it out.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the best for you and your game, man. I can't wait for you to come back on the show when you're a bajillionaire from this game.
From Nightfall, or the game that comes after. Who knows?
Who knows? Thank you guys so much. This was a blast.
Yeah, man.
This was really amazing. You guys rock.
Oh, thanks, man.
Hey, man,
you too.
You rock, yeah.
All right, man.
All right, that was dope. We just got
so dope.
Yeah, we can't. We didn't hear it obviously, but we know it's dope. You know it's dope.
You know it's dope.
We all know it's dope. Anyway, so let's jump on over to the People's Champ. Brent, take us there.
It's gonna be a tough one this week. We have a lot of contenders for the champion.
Oh, I like that. I like that you choose the champ every week now. It's just. It's a good thing. I think you're good at picking champs.
Man, it's just this one is extra hard though. Let me see.
Which one just talks to you? Which one just reaches out with champion-like hands?
You know what? I'm going to give it to Kevin Lotz this
What's
week.
up, Kevin?
Kevin says, Doom Eternal's new platformer direction. Good new idea to add a new fresh approach to destroying hordes of hell, or stepping too far away from Doom roots and making it feel more like a Call of Duty clone, or breaking up combat to platform too much. See, okay, here's my thoughts on this. I've been watching the gameplay from the new Doom Eternal, and to me, it actually feels more like the original Dooms to me.
Yeah.
When I see him jumping from platform to platform or going, just the level design looks a lot like a normal old school Doom level to me.
Yeah, because there was quite a bit of platforming in the original Dooms.
Mm-hmm. I think it's almost going back to its roots a little more, just the way it looks and is laid out. You know what I mean? And I see what you're saying, but at the same time, I feel like once you start playing it, it's going to end up feeling a lot more like a traditional Doom game.
Yeah, very fast paced, just murder everything. I do like the that it is taking influence from games like Celeste, like almost like it's like literally just a 3D first-person shooter Celeste. Like, you know, they were talking about it at E3, apparently saying like you are going to die, like you're supposed to die, and like you just keep going at it until you don't die. You know, so like I like that idea.
Well, I think one thing also is, like, you look at what made Doom VFR so great, and it was the platforming elements of it. You know, there was a mechanic in the Doom game or for VR where it's like they wanted to make you less motion sick and more comfortable. So they have this like teleport thing, but when you teleport, it like launches you and you like go slow-mo kind of. And like they had this thing where if you like, you could like jump up to different platforms, and it felt really cool, like the way you jump, and it would be all slow mo, and you'd be shooting monsters and stuff. And it had these like, it almost brought forth this whole new element of like platforming to get to new spots. You know what I mean? That wasn't in the other Doom games. And I think that they might have realized, hey, this works. You know, maybe we should try to implement this in our flat version. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Maybe. I feel like it's just been coming that way. Even though Doom 2016 had a lot of platforming in it.
It did.
But my thing about it is like, I'm just ready to get my shotgun and just fucking kill some demons. You know, and like that's it. Like whenever it comes to Doom, like I'm ready for it. Like Wolfenstein, Doom, all those games, like especially coming from Bethesda, like I love them. I love all of the new stuff they've been doing. And that's why I really hope they keep doing this with like classic games. Like give us the Unreal Tournament or something. That would be cool. Like a Quake, like a modern day Quake or something.
Yeah, they could definitely do some Quake.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm down.
All right. Well, thanks, Kevin. You were the champion this week. Moving on to all the non-champion folk this week.
Though great questions this week.
Yeah,
right.
A lot of great ones. We got Philip Watson Dean here.
Oi.
He says, sorry if it's been asked before, but if you had to choose one TV series to be turned into a game, what TV series would it be? And what game type would you pick? RPG, first-person shooter, real-time strategy, etc.?
I would want Black Mirror as a Detroit type game.
I could see that, especially with that Bandersnatch thing. I think if you fleshed it out, you could make it like really good, you know?
Yeah.
And you could make like an anthology of games out of that.
That's what I'm talking about. Like just to focus on technology and like weird stories.
Well, it's kind of like the Until Dawn people are going to do that Man of Medan game. That's going to be the first part of like a 5-part anthology thing. So if you could totally do like a theme, like a Black Mirror theme, and just do tons of different, like that would be really cool.
Yeah, that's my pick.
I like that. That's hard to beat. Let me think about this for a second. Maybe. Sorry, this is kind of a hard one. It's got to be a TV series.
You could go anime. You could go, just like live action.
Yeah, it's good that you say anime. There's some animes that, I don't know. I think this is going to sound crazy, but I would like to see the TV show Preacher made into a video game. I think that would be really cool because it's got a lot of like fighting and action in it already, and I think that you could make like a kind of like a video game version of the characters that's like unique to the video game kind of thing, like they did with Spider-Man and stuff. Because it's like a DC Comics thing, you know what I mean? So I think, it could work really well. I think if you did like an action platformer kind of thing with that.
That's a good one. Have you ever seen that show Grimm?
Yeah.
I think Grimm would make a good TV show, or not a good TV show, but a good video game if you made it in the way of like recreate it in almost like a Batman Arkham situation where like the bosses are like the three bears or like, like the Grimm fairy tales.
I feel like it would come out like Alice Madness Returns kind of,
Not like that. No, I want it to look like Batman Arkham, like that type of like art style where the Joker is like real grotesque looking and stuff like that.
That would be really cool. I could see that working.
What else we got? Thanks, Philip.
Felipe. We got Chad here. Chad McLean.
Hey, boy.
He says, if you could choose any 2 video game characters to do a porn, who?
You mean a porno?
Yes.
You can't say a porn. This is like that Family Guy
do
argument.
A porn. Yeah.
To do a porno.
Oh, yeah. Doing a porn.
No. 2 video game characters to do a porno.
Matt Cook says the creepy guy from Rush of Blood, definitely. But who else?
Okay.
John Hightower says Mario and Luigi, the original Smash Bros.
I like that. That's hot.
Kevin Lott says the dog from Parasite Eve, post mutation, and Tingle from Zelda.
Oh, dude, Tingle. The Tingle's definitely someone.
Tingle's involved. Tingle's gonna be in my porno, but he's gonna be like off in the corner jerking it while
definitely
while Zelda and Ganon are getting it on or something.
And as soon as she like comes, his balloon pops. And he just like falls down.
Yes.
I guess my characters would have to be like this is tough. Because there's so many things that I find would be like entertaining, not really sexy, but like you could do.
It could be either. It could be both. It could be one or the other. Doesn't matter.
Okay, I guess like
you just happen to make a porn.
Okay, basically any of the Mortal Kombat characters would do like perfect.
Oh, like that chick without a jaw.
Yeah, the jaw. Well, with a jaw, giant jaw, like that chick, and then like. Scorpion, because it would be really crazy. It would just be insane.
Yeah, that would be brutal.
Be like, get over here, but in a sensual way. Like it's
over
like,
here.
Wow. Get over here.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Those are my choices.
All right, good ones. We've got Josh Pantoja here.
Pantoja.
He says, is anyone going to bring up why Master Chief shrunk down after Halo 4?
I really don't understand this question. You've asked us this before, Josh, and I know deep in your heart you believe this happened.
Did he shrink down?
I don't know. I'm guessing maybe the scale is different. Like, I don't know.
He looked pretty tall in that Infinite trailer they showed pretty recently.
Yeah, he looked really tall in that. But maybe he's talking about in Halo 5.
Maybe
in Halo 5.
I think he can rest easy knowing that he's going to be tall as fuck in the next game. So
he's going to be broad-shouldered.
Barrel-chested,
thick-thighed.
Let's see. We also have the American Ninja Warrior himself, Giselle Bozeman.
Woo, Jay.
He says, do you think the new Pokemon game is worth buying?
Absolutely. I'm gonna.
I mean, the new one coming out or the most recent one?
He's talking about the new one coming out.
I think it's gonna be worth it.
I think it's absolutely gonna be worth it,
especially considering, like, I'm not saying the Switch doesn't have much to play or anything, but like, I think that it will be one of the best titles on the Switch for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, did you see the whole thing about the tree though?
No.
So people took a screenshot of like the open world part of it.
Uh-huh.
And like the graphics on the tree are the same. Like people clipped it out of there and like put a link from Ocarina of Time in front of the tree, and like people didn't know it was a different game.
Really?
Yeah, the graphics are that bad. Like
wow.
on the background and the trees and stuff. But
I don't care.
Looking at it from,
frankly, like it could be like Game Boy Color graphics, dude. I'm still gonna play that shit.
That's a lie. Okay,
no, it's not. I really would.
On Switch, I wouldn't. Because I want this open world thing, and like I'm getting it. I'm getting the open world part that I was talking about, where the Pokemon are walking around.
Yeah.
And you still have random encounters though. In the way that like when you're walking, you can see like an exclamation point pop up, and that's a random encounter. Like you can choose to walk into it or not, but it doesn't show you what Pokemon it is.
I like that.
It's a mix of each thing.
I like that. Keeps it exciting.
Yeah, but when you're out in the grass though, you can see the actual Pokemon, and those aren't random encounters. But you can choose to walk up to them and just like be like, "Oh, look, there's a Snorlax. I'm gonna go."
That's cool.
Fucks with him.
The curious part of my mind is gonna be hitting every random encounter just to see what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure. And the fact you can look up. You can use...
I'm excited that it's not going to be like childishly easy like the Let's Go games.
Yeah,
Even though
for
I had a
sure.
lot of fun with the Let's Go games, I'm excited to play like an actual challenging Pokemon game again. Not necessarily like challenging. I'm sure it'll be like easy as all the other Pokemon games, but you know.
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't have sold that because we could have done the drop-in co-op.
I know.
Oh,
I
that would've
messed
been
up.
great.
I might get it back one of these days, you know what I mean? I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of people selling like all their games in bulk on you know, Craigslist and stuff, and
Yeah.
almost everybody's got Pokemon. So I'm thinking one of these days I'm just gonna scoop up somebody's like bulk games and probably try to get the Pikachu one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
For sure. Anyways, yeah. Thanks, Jay.
Yeah. Thanks everybody. Great questions this week, guys.
Absolutely. So we're going to jump on over to This Week in Gaming History. Brent's going to wrap up the show. So, what's going on in history right now, dude?
Man, crazy week in history, guys. June 29th, 2000 for the PC.
June 29th, 2000 for the PC. What genre?
Top down, real time strategy?
StarCraft.
No.
Okay. Warcraft.
Let me just put it this way. It's a hell of a game.
A hell of a game. A top down. Oh, Diablo.
Diablo
2.
Yeah, there you go. Boom. For the PC.
Okay, cool. For the PC.
Hey.
Was there anything else happening in history?
June 24th, 2003.
June 24th, 2003.
2003.
Okay.
For the Game Boy Color. Or no, Game Boy Advance, I'm sorry.
June 24th, 2003.
You'll never guess this one.
What
It's
kind of game is it, though?
driving. There's cars involved, for sure.
And it's like a racing game.
Um,
Would you call it a racer? Would you call it like a... Or is it just that there's cars in the game?
There's cars in the game. Is a port from a console game that was really popular. I'm pretty sure we played the console game at your house a lot, but it wasn't like a very popular. It was, I don't know. There's cars. There's stunts.
Oh, is it Flat Out?
No,
Oh,
that's the game I'm thinking of though. Actually, so just disregard I said that we played it at your house.
Spy Hunter? Stunt Racer?
Oh God, you're so close. No,
Stunt Driver.
no. Oh my God, you're so close.
What is it?
Stuntman.
Oh my God. That's the game I was thinking of. I just couldn't remember the title.
I know you were thinking of it. Yeah, that's the one.
That's a game that would
we did
never
play
get
that,
made
didn't we?
today. Yes.
Yeah.
That would never get made today. They don't make games like that anymore.
No, they really don't.
But anyways, that's it for the show, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of CreateForSanity.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast directories. Be sure to submit any questions you want read on the show to the GameSpeak Podcast Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak Podcast. Check out our video content on YouTube. All you have to do is search Create for Sanity.
Every Saturday.
It's all one word. And, subscribe to us so we can change it from youtube.com/AljafferJamel to youtube.com/CreateForSanity. We need 14 more subscribers before we can do that.
Oh, we can do this.
And if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle AljafferJamel and Brent at BrentHas1. That's the number 1. And check out the GameSpeak Podcast Instagram.